Welcome to Command AI, where we press Command F on the internet's AI news and somehow still can't find our sanity. I'm Samuel Gregory.
And I'm Kabarza, and we are here to decode the weekly chaos in AI, web design, and development. This week, we have three big news. My favorite, Google's Genie 3 creates interactive worlds in real time. Think like gaming in real time. OpenAI drops game-changing GPT-5 plus a free open source model that runs on your laptop or even on your phone, which is crazy. And that might be a funeral for cloud. And all of this, we'll get into it in this week's episode.
Amazing. I'm getting the website might be a better way to show this. But let's dive in first.
You're cutting off a little bit.
Sorry?
Your internet connection is not really stable, it seems like.
It's all right. I was just loading a new website and that kicked that. Here we go. Let's get into this. Genie 3, a new frontier for world models, and it's exactly as you say. It looks insane. You can generate 3D worlds via prompt, and it's not just generating the 3D world and that's it. You can actually move through it using this kind of, directional pad here. So this person is in a sci-fi world. He's walking through and you can look around. I have got the video cached here, so I'm not going to play videos.
Yeah, this is like insane, and it's like the direction that we are going with this.
They've obviously prompted to take part in a horse show event, skiing the Alps. You can control yourself. Helicopter pilot. Absolutely insane. Real-time interactivity as well. And this is all procedurally generated, and they show you. So this guy's painting. This is the good one, and then you can prompt in real time. Look, so give it a second here. Man in chicken suit. So in real time, you can actually prompt.
I didn't see that. That's good. That's good.
Oh, I want a dragon. Absolutely insane. Man, this is so cool. Let me run down the facts, right? So every frame is generated based on previous frames. It's basically real time using input and using arrow keys. You can obviously change the scenes on the fly with text prompts. We saw a few elements there. Useful for simulating environments for like AI robot training. I mean, think of what this could actually do. So I definitely think simulation training, which is mental in VR. So no doubt this will be plugged into some sort of VR device or made into 3D and stuff like that, because that can be really good for obviously like military training and things like that, but like actual treatment as well. So yeah. Of like psychosis and all the rest of it. So, but on the more lighter-hearted side of things, creating real-time video games, movies, and TV shows, like you can become. I mean, it's limitless, really. The sorts of things you can generate, and it's a bit sad. It's only being used internally at Google. No public release announced. So, bit of a shame there that we can't play with it, but like. It just goes to show where we're going with this sort of stuff. And
this is like genuinely mind-blowing.
Yeah, real time as well. Like the compute, like this is the thing. Theo's mentioned it quite a lot. This is the unique position that Google have got themselves in, is that they can actually they can do so much because they own and operate the hardware, as well as like they've got the full stack, let's call it. So they can do really heavily computational things like this. But it's interesting that they've just got no planned release date. Like, what do you think the strategy is there? Do you think it's to test if people actually care about this? Like,
just imagine all the things that you can build with this. That is insane to me. For example, Google Maps. Have you thought about it? We have like 3D worlds already with Google Maps and Apple Maps, but they are not very exact. They are not really detailed. They are not really nice. But we also have a lot of like images. What are they called? Like street view images from Google. Now, imagine combining these things and with this generative AI to create a replication of our world with every single detail in it. And now take that and use it for so many things. For example, just the Google Maps example is an obvious one, but also gaming. Have you thought about gaming in your neighborhood, like Call of Duty style? I mean, I used to, when I was like 16, I used to play some custom DLC. So we would edit maps, add things to them. And I always dreamt of having my neighborhood, maybe, with a little bit of like extra fun stuff added to it, and then play with my friends that were close to me. We were from the same neighborhood, play Call of Duty there. Theoretically, you can always create your own game, but now imagine how easy this gets with this model. So this is one of the very, like, for me, very interesting use cases. Video games like Call of Duty in your own neighborhood with your own friends. Another thing, as you mentioned, for robotics, they already have like some generative worlds for them, but with this, the robots could have almost a perfect replica of our world. That would be also very interesting to see how they can use it to learn. And I don't know how this will be for like self-driving cars. Probably they could use it as well. So it's not just robots. Self-driving cars also are a type of robots. But yeah, I think this is like super exciting. I'm just not sure why Google is not releasing it. Maybe because it's really costly. Like a video typically takes minutes to generate. And now imagine this is kind of like a video in real time. They are probably running this on huge clusters of like probably like even potentially thousands of GPUs at the same time, because it's not like a video for which you can wait to be generated. This is real time. So if you move, it has to move, and that probably needs a lot of GPU power. But with time, as we've seen in the past few years, we went from Will Smith spaghetti to now real time worlds. It's just insane to me.
Looking at like the history of how we got to Genie 3 as well. Game and Gen, no idea what that is, but it's 320p game specific. I don't really know what a lot of these metrics mean, but like, basically they've gone from a few seconds, and this is Genie 2, the last one, which is 360p. We're up to 720p. I think that's an important distinction to make there. We're still only 720p, but it's, still pretty good. 3D environments to general. Again, I don't know what general is. Limited keyboard mouse actions, and this is promptable world. Again, don't really understand that, but you can navigate around it. We've gone from 10 to 20 seconds, which is pretty good, to multiple minutes. So that's fantastic.
But that could be unlimited, right? If you get to multiple minutes, you could. I don't see a reason for it being limited, because it can just look at the last 2 seconds and based on that continue generating. Or maybe like it's something with the context. For example, in the website, they show a few trees that stay consistent in the video, or like, what is it called? Like in the experience, they stay consistent. Maybe there is something about the memory of these elements staying consistent only through a few minutes. But if you don't care about the consistency of 2 minutes ago, and if you like progressively just move forward but not backward, you could run it unlimited.
Yeah, so if you look here, I mean, once it's generated all this, it's not generating anything new. It's in the memory, presumably. I don't know how this technology works, but again, this character is running forward. It's already generated this stuff, but I guess there's perspectives and it changes perspectives. But yeah, without knowing the technology, I'm not too sure. But you see here, I mean, here's an example. Oh, keeps on. Here we go. Yeah. So there's a difference between Genie 2 and then Genie 3. So there's a lot more fidelity inside of Genie 3. Everything's on max here, by the looks of things. There's no nuance, there's no kind of subtlety in the image. So And then obviously you can see here the interaction has ended. But yeah, I mean, theoretically, the user isn't moving constantly. So what's been generated, there's no reason to, stop generating anything more. It could keep going, sort of thing. But yeah, pretty cool. And the other thing is physics as well, real world physics. So there is a cool one that I've seen, this one here, where it's like it's gonna bash through one of these lights now. Look, boom. Like it's that real world physics that is really impressive as well. So yeah, this is just
man, imagine video games in. So here's the question: which one will come out first? GTA 6 with their amazing. We've seen the visuals, right? Have you seen, like, they have the beer and it looks like the beer, the fluid inside of the glass is moving in GTA 6 trailer, and it's like amazing visuals. But will we have that first, or Google's whatever game engine in real time that
look at this? Like, this to me does not look 3D generated. This actually looks photo realistic to me.
Yeah,
I mean, the guy is barely moving, so this looks a bit naff, but like this all just looks like video footage, like it's actually a movie. So what is this? This can't be 3D generated.
So another thing that no, it's not 3D. It's they literally just make video on the go. That's how I understand it. This is like video on demand, and the interactivity is, from what I understand, it just generates more frames that are technically just a video. It's not real 3D environments.
I guess then the ones that look like video games are probably stylized to say, like the robot one we were looking at, like maybe that's stylized to look.
That's how I understand it. That's how I understand it, that it's not a 3D map. It's only like just frames. What interests me a lot about like this turning it into video game or like other type of experiences is to not let the AI to create the entire experience, but have some sort of like a wireframe of like a 3D wireframe of, for example, the character in a 3D world that a game developer can create, but they don't have to develop all the nitty gritty and all the details, like the bottle with the liquid inside of it, that they don't have to create that. All they have to create is, for example, the character, just directing it and moving it through the story, and these models then kind of like create all those like detailed layers on top of it, if you like say the render, if you wish. And that's how I see it moving forward. I think that would be like huge for the gaming industry. We will have like photorealistic, like true photorealistic.
Yeah, it kind of flips it on its head a little bit, that we can just use like photorealism in movies instead of having something that looks like a 3D video game. It just I wonder what I'd like to see some video game studio reactions to this and see what
have you seen have you played Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1 and 2, and 3 also was, but like Captain Price?
Oh no, not to that extent. No, I don't.
So I was called Captain Price. Like my gaming tag was for a long time Captain Price, because I was just obsessed with. It was just cool, a cool guy, a cool dude in the series. It's a guy with a like long mustache. I don't know what it's called. Like when you have the mustache like all the way down here.
Handlebar.
Yeah, kind of like a handlebar mustache. So Captain Price. So I played Call of Duty. The point being, I played Call of Duty again, the remastered version. And what they did, Activision, they basically enhanced the visuals from, let's say, it's kind of like very like old style graphics to a better one. Now I'm looking forward to play it again, potentially with like actual like photorealism. That would be insane. There are like so many iconic scenes. People who played it, I'm sure they connect with me on those. Like imagine in the scene where you throw the knife and you hit. I don't want to spoil it for the ones who haven't played it, but it's so old. You throw the knife in one and you shoot somebody with a knife, essentially, like you hit them in the eye. There are like there is another scene that is breaking every man's heart, is where they burn you. So you're someone in your team that you think they are on your side, they betray you and they kill you and your friends and they burn you, and you see that from that perspective. And just having all of that Call of Duty, and because it was like I believe it was the peak of Call of Duty, those three, and yeah, have it remastered in photorealism, it just excites me.
I think you need to see someone, mate, because if you want to see that being shot in the eye with a dagger in photorealism,
Yeah.
I think you need to speak to someone. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to go out and touch some grass.
Mate, you need to do more than that. That's, touching grass ain't going to remove those dark thoughts.
I know that I mentioned the dark ones, but it was so good. Like the storytelling was so good. And this is a note on what I said previously, that in a way, I don't know how storytelling from AI will be, but so far from what we've seen also from VO3 is called, right? The video generation.
Yeah.
That tool is just creating some frames, but the interesting storytelling is still coming from humans, right?
Well, that's it. I mean, like, it's all well and good having these desires to, like, you know, oh, the video game industry is going to die and this, that, and the other. I mean, we've seen it in vibe coding. Just because you can now technically and physically build a website doesn't mean it's going to be a good website that actually does anything, because you don't hold all of the other elements that go into building a good website. You don't hold, more direct example would be the Yeti vlogs that I talk about, where just sometimes a little bit of love on YouTube. Hey, leave us a comment. Where are you? You know, it doesn't make up for bad storytelling when the joke is just rubbish, just because it looks cool and there's a Yeti holding a camera.
100%.
Doesn't mean it's going to be very good. So yeah.
So
you can try as you might. It doesn't mean it's going to be a good video game. You know.
Exactly. It's just going to, like, AI is going to enable more of us, and it hasn't gotten to a point that can replace any of us. Even despite these companies talking about AGI and coming up with new models, speaking of which, we should jump into it. None of these tools are where these companies claim to be, close to AGI, to take the creativity. So far, we are the creatives, and these are just tools that allow us to move faster and with less manpower, do more.
Should we jump into it? Should we jump into OpenAI?
Yeah, they came with two big news. And
so first off the press is GPT-oss, which is two state-of-the-art open weight models, right? And you've got 120 billion parameter model and a 20 billion parameter model. So some really exciting stuff here. Apparently deployable on consumer hardware. And these are fitted with the Apache 2 license, meaning that you can reuse them, pre-train them, post-train them, do what you like with them, put them anywhere, and OpenAI can't take a cent from you, which is really, really cool. So as I say, operatable on consumer hardware. We'll get into a little theory that I have coming up in a bit. But they are basically, the performance is on parity with O4 mini. And this is the 120 billion parameter one, and the 20 billion parameter is kind of like O3 mini. So we're not talking like amazing models here, but there's something you can download and run on most hardware, particularly the 20 billion parameter model. I don't know the exact sort of size of that, but apparently you can run it on 16 gig of RAM. So that's pretty interesting. My theory is that this may be it could be what Apple Intelligence becomes, is my theory. I'll get your response to that in a sec. But good for tool use, train of thought reasoning, and health bench as well. Again, thinking about the fact that these can run locally and it performs really well on health bench, meaning hospitals can run this on their, I don't know how deeply ingrained AI is in hospitals, but you imagine a power outage and, you're very reliant on AI systems, or having another perspective with an AI on someone's condition or whatever. The fact is, this is a really nice place for it to getting good results on health bench is a really nice place for it to be good at, right? It's got adjustable chain of thought, which is really nice. So you can actually say, give me some quick results. So don't your train of thought needs to be fairly small. Or you can make it massive if you want some deep thinking and all the rest of it. I guess more for the health bench sort of stuff, which is really cool. It leverages mixture of experts. Let me start highlighting some stuff so we can. There we go. Mixture of experts, which, as we learned last week, is basically a way for the oversimplification on. It's not quite routing, but you have designated experts that basically encapsulate a certain portion of the data set. So 100 billion parameters activates 5.1 billion parameters per token. So there's an expert dedicated to 5.1 billion parameters, and it's like a specialist in that subject, basically. So improves performance because, again, you're only activating 5.1 billion parameters on that 120 billion parameter model, whereas the 20 billion parameter only activates 3.6 billion parameters. So you're getting that increased performance, you're getting that the responsivity and things like that. It's got 128,000 contexts, which I was doing some research today, and when GPT first came out, GPT-2 I think it had only 6,000 as a context size, which is just crazy. Here we go, there's the brilliant parameters. So let's be real. Google talk about a million parameters, but I think context size is way overrated. I'm thankful for the 128 basically, which is on a free open source model, or open weight model. And what's really, really interesting is when we get to the post-training stuff. Is it post-training? Basically, they have including a supervised fine-tuning stage, where basically they tried, because obviously you can do what you want with this model. They've actually tuned it in such a way, or implemented such features into the, because remember, it's not open source, it's open weight, into the model, where OpenAI have tried to fine-tune it to do malicious things, and it's actually really good at not doing those things, detecting whether it's, I don't think this is specifically what I'm talking about, but that's really cool. They actually intentionally tried to make it do harmful things, and it wouldn't do it, because that's the thing with all this open stuff, is that once you release it out there, it's done. Then you've released it, it's free for the world to do whatever they want with it. So really, really cool. And before we get into some metrics or whatever, there's train of thought. Here we go. This is the fine tuning that I told you about. So state-of-the-art approaches for safety training during pre-training. We filtered out certain harmful data-related chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear data. And during post-training, we use deliberative alignment and instruct hierarchy to teach the model to refuse unsafe prompts and defend against prompt injection. So again, just that safety thing. And there is a bounty. Just lastly, there is a $500,000 bounty if Red Hat challenge, basically. So if you can crack this nut and reveal vulnerabilities, OpenAI are offering.
It was a bit higher there, a bit higher, like on the top.
Have you seen it? Have you?
Yeah, the first, the last paragraph.
Got it. Boom, boom, boom. So red teaming challenge. So there you go. Get on it, boys. See if you can find some vulnerabilities. Yeah.
So you get $500,000 if you can break into this, and then Mark Zuckerberg will probably hire you
Yeah. Yeah.
For like a couple $1 million at least.
Oh, you got 18 days. You got 18 days. Go on, get on it. So yeah, really, really exciting. Really, obviously, open source and open weight isn't a brand new thing, but let's be clear, like OpenAI are good, you know, and they have a lot of the best interest of AI. We'd like to think, and what they say. They have humanity's best interest at heart, whereas you don't know these open source and whatever models. We often don't know what they're. You don't know whether they're aligned in the same sort of ways.
Yeah.
Again, so we're all taking it at face value, but I've not had a chance to use it. I think that it was like an immediate update. I've seen mixed responses basically on how good and how fast this model is. I think I used it for a bit, and it would warm up. So my first prompt was like whatever, and I'll plug one of my videos here. I've just released a video where I get, and in fact, I think it was you that requested this video, how to get open router, open web UI set up on your own domain name. So I've released that video, or it's coming out or something like that. But the point is, I got it up and running. And it was a bit slow. Oh no, it was on my local machine. It wasn't on my own domain. And yeah, it was slow at first, but then it kind of came up with some stuff. And I saw Theo's video on it. Like, oh no, that's GPT-5, but loving tables. But like, I think that was GPT-5, so ignore that. But like, yeah, I've had a few little bits and bobs of usage with it, but nothing too crazy. I don't know if you've dug into it at all, or
no.
Do you test models?
The next one that we are going to talk about in a minute, I tested that a little bit, but honestly, no. I mean, I use Cursor. I stopped using it for a bit because I was busy with other stuff. Now I'm using it again, and I test the different models that are available in Cursor. But the new ones that come out, I don't have my own test, even though I have something in mind. You've seen the slider thing that we have, like the carousel. It's quite complex, and I yet to see any model. I tested a few models to see if they can create that, and it's too difficult. So my test, maybe I can test models in a year time when the models are good enough to create something that complex. But I want to mention a few other things. So one, the Apache 2 license. So what we are seeing is that OpenAI's new model is more open than what Mark Zuckerberg has been putting out there.
I don't know. I don't know what the license is on Llama. I thought Llama is like you can just do what you want with it. It's just there. It's open source. I've
heard. I don't know. We need to check that probably, but I've heard that with Llama you can use the models up to a set limit of users, I believe. Like after, I might be wrong about this, but after like 1 million users or something like this, you have to pay them or show that it's their model or something like this. We can check that, but Apache 2.0, that sounds great. I've seen a few memes or like a few jokes about OpenAI's new open model in relation to your AI girlfriend. You know, people now have apparently AI girlfriends, and if your AI girlfriend is not running locally on your machine, she's for the servers. It's bad. I know it's bad. They say like she's for the street.
Okay, yeah.
And she's for the servers. She's not running on your machine locally. She's deployed to everybody. You know the movie Her, right?
Yeah.
There is the scene at guys. Close your eyes if you haven't seen it. Close your eyes. Close your ears if you haven't seen it. What am I saying? Close your ears if you haven't seen it. But there is that scene at the end where the AI girlfriend is talking to, I don't know, like 6,000 men at the same time. And the guy is heartbroken because of the exclusivity thing. And now your AI girlfriend can run on your machine, so she's not for the servers, so she's not deployed to everybody. I don't know. I've seen jokes about it.
Anyway, so
anyway.
if your app is over 700,000 million monthly active users, you must request and receive a special license from Meta. So that's what you're talking about.
Yes. So OpenAI's new model is more open source than Meta's open source AI models.
Yeah,
if it makes sense.
I think Meta are in a weird spot right now because they're sort of, like, what is their USP? I don't really understand. Like, I think wow, I think I know what their USP is. I think it's why they've got a bad reputation. It's their data that you already have. It's the data, the real personal data that they have on their users that is not public to the internet, which is all OpenAI have. Well, they're probably starting to collect data usage from their users, but Facebook has that, and people friggin' hate it. I've built my website. I really fucking hate AI. And I was reading some of the responses today because they are still coming in. Okay. If you want to rant about hating AI, head to I really fucking hate AI.com. And someone ranted about Zuckerberg and just like everyone hates him. Like, no matter what he does, everyone hates him. He's the most untrustworthy person in the world, trying to build like something that is so like I'm going to call it now. I don't think he's going to win. I don't think he's going to make a dent. I think his reputation of his company, no matter what he does, everyone hates Facebook. Not everyone hates Facebook. That's the wrong way to look at it. Just because you hate something, whatever. I think that just a reputation has been ruined. The trust is gone. And
it's like over multiple times. He's done it again and again and again, and he's just not trustworthy when it comes to your data. I believe the only thing that I found to be like genuine about him is his interest for like VR, and he even changed the name of the company to Meta for metaverse and for VR. But VR might be something like 3D that never happened. We had a boom with 3D TVs and glasses and all of that. It never happened actually. And VR, I would be sad to see VR gone, but that's the only place I would see Facebook doing like a great job. I mean, they bought Oculus. It's not even that it's their product, but he genuinely likes that. And for why he's doing AI, I don't even know. Like, I don't feel like he's genuinely interested in AI the way that genuinely Sam Altman is interested in AI. Sam Altman is the AI guy, but Mark Zuckerberg is, to me, is not the AI guy who's like genuinely interested in it. Even like I was surprised to see Elon Musk getting that good with Grok, but because he neglected AI for a long time. He was never that huge AI fan. But
don't be fooled. Don't be fooled, right? I agree with you. I don't think he's there, but CEOs have to act in the best interest of the company, right? And AI is a necessary trend that people need to leverage. Like, no matter what you think, I'm sorry, but AI is just here to stay, right? If you're tuning into this podcast, I'm preaching to the choir, so let's just not bang on about that. But the point is CEOs need to adapt. And I'm learning in my company right now, I'm learning to adapt, and I'm targeting an industry which I'm not that interested in, but I believe that I'm still going to be doing websites. I'm still going to be building apps, but it's in an industry where I feel like that's where the money is and that's where the business needs to lie. And I'm developing a passion for it, I don't underestimate how cutthroat and how I was going to say soulless, but I don't think I mean soulless, but how don't believe for 1 second that Sam is just in love with AI just because it seems like he is, or Elon Musk. Like you just answered your own question in like, I didn't believe Musk was. I bet he isn't. I bet he's just chasing what's necessary for him to earn money. That's just a CEO's job. If a CEO's been, if a CEO is seen to act otherwise, then they get thrown off, you know. But this ain't a business podcast, so we can sidestep that one. Not that I like it that much, and I know you don't like it. Like looking at the benchmarks. Benchmarks are only good until the next model comes around, and naturally the next model is going to be better. But I think the interesting thing about this model is that it doesn't aim to be the best. It's just interesting to see how comparable it is to some of the other, you know, state-of-the-art models. And you've got the two open weight models here competing quite well. I mean, this is without tools. This is with tools, without tools, with tools, without tools, and it's still not, you know, it's competing very well with O3 and O4 Mini here. So it's just by comparison, really, and it stands its ground. We'll look at some charts later on because there's been some interesting turn of events with the other model that OpenAI released, but it's just competing very, very well. And I actually like O4 Mini quite a lot. I don't use O3 or O3 Mini too much. So, but O4 Mini is pretty good, and it shows in these results. But it can hold its own, you know. It can hold its own. So it's pretty cool to see this out in the wild. And I think the other thing to end on really is like, I really think these open models, these locally runnable models, particularly the 20 billion model, like I've now downloaded that onto my machine, you know, and I've got it ready to go whenever I need it. And that, you have to remember, that is the world's information in your pocket. Like, I know we've got the internet, but to have it in a system, in a way where you can ask a very specific question about health. It's about, you know, we talk about health bench and stuff like that. To have that in your pocket is just next generation. And I'm excited about it.
So how does it work when you run these models on your local machine and they need a tool call, for example, to use the browser? Do they use the browser? Do they have something internal? How do they access the internet?
Well, I mean, just because it runs on your local machine doesn't mean it doesn't have it. What do you mean? Like if you don't have internet connection, it can't run tool calls. Tool calls are separate from the model, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, what does it happen essentially? If you don't have internet connection and you ask it a question, it just can't run the
probably just gives you a warning. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I don't know. I haven't got a system set up to, you know.
But that is genuinely that is genuinely very interesting to what you say. Like, have it locally, and it will just get better from here. I mean, we've been saying this, and we are going to continually say this. It will just get better, and we are exactly at that point. We are seeing the next generation of the models. Speaking of which, we should get into it after.
I mean, I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this potentially being a foundation for Apple Intelligence.
Oh, let's talk about that.
It runs on 16 gig, which is exactly what Apple Intelligence is supposed to run on, or they're trying to get it to run on. Obviously, they've had a massive focus in privacy specifically, you know, health as well. I mean, Apple are all about health right now with watches and so forth. And, you know, don't get me wrong, these are all very good things, but like they seem very well aligned with Apple's values and principles, and it's free to use, you know.
That sounds great, but when we heard about OpenAI talking about running their model on a hardware piece, like on a smartphone or a laptop, I was actually thinking about something else. I was thinking about not Apple, but Johnny Ive and their own product that we haven't seen and we haven't heard anything about it.
100%.
They are like optimizing for that.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be stupid. I mean, these things need to be offline.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they would build an offline access. But yeah, no, you're totally right.
They're just they're optimizing for their tool.
Yeah, for sure. We didn't touch on the update on that, but they did actually release a really strange update, which didn't make much sense. It sounded like that Johnny Ive is kind of no longer part. And let me get the website up.
Okay.
What's it called? OpenAI and Love from.
The name is on top of my phone.
I had to IO.
IO, yeah.
Let me share this with you. We're going off piece now, boys and girls. But
so it says
update 9th of July. So it was actually just a month ago, less than a month ago, has officially merged. So IO Products has officially merged with OpenAI. This is the confusing bit. Johnny Ive and Love From remain independent and have assumed deep insight and creative responsibilities across OpenAI. So it's like, what do you mean remained independent? Wasn't Johnny Ive part of IO? Like, what are they talking about here? And you can see this is the update, and then this was the original. So there's only been one update since. And I had to cut. I mean, I still don't know what it means. Let us know if you know what it means. But
and they say have assumed deep design and creative responsibilities across OpenAI. It doesn't seem like integrated to me. It seems like they are just partners, but as they say, independent.
It looks to me as if like Johnny Ive has just sold the IP, or he's sold his part in IO. Because the team has officially merged with OpenAI, and then Johnny Ive is like, okay, but I want to stay with Love From. You can hire us independently of whatever we do. So it's like God, this photo is just ridiculous.
I wanted to say that.
Oh my God, that's so. Anyway.
It's going to be a meme for decades. This photo, it's already a meme. Like people, it's just so cringe, man.
It's so funny. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, it seems like Johnny Ive has let go of IO, but is committed to its overseeing it as part of Love From.
Yeah.
So yeah, but they've said that without saying that Johnny Ive is no longer part of IO, or at least he doesn't own IO, or he's not dedicated or committed to specifically to IO. But who knows? Anyway, should we go to? Unless you got anything more you want to say?
No, that was it. That was it.
Nice. All right. Well, let's go to a quick break, and we'll get into the latest and greatest.
Support for this episode comes from Flowbase. If you are building in Webflow, Framer, or Figma, Flowbase can help you build much faster. With over 4,000 components to choose from, you have a huge variety of wireframes and super clean, nicely designed sections that you can put together by just simply copy-pasting them to your project.
Over 15,000 icons as well, over 1,000 illustrations.
They also have a super helpful Webflow app called Boosters. With Boosters, you can add things like sliders and marquees and count-ups to your project with a few clicks and without any coding. So yeah, big thanks to Flowbase for supporting the show. If you want to try them out, go head to flowbase.co.
And just for you guys, I want to share a discount. Command Flowbase, all capitals, for 20% off any plan. This is a limited offer, so get in there early.
All right, that's it. Let's continue with the show.
And here we have GPT-5, the big boy, where everyone's excited about. What we were waiting for, which Sam Altman teased just a few months ago, said it's coming this summer, and we've finally got it. And it's pretty good. I'm hearing a lot of still mixed but pretty good things about it. And it's pretty gosh darn cheap as well. And that's actually for a reason that you don't think about, but we'll get into that. $1.25 per million input tokens and $10 per million output tokens, which puts it in line with Gemini 2.5. There are 3 models been released with a 4th on the way. You've got obviously GPT-5, you've got GPT-5 mini, which is 25 cents input, $2 out. GPT-5 nano, which is 5 cents per million input, 40 cents out, which again, just 2 really fast performant models and alternatives to the big daddy. 400,000 token context window, input context window with 120,000 output. Token caching offers 90% discount on those things. So that's a pretty big savings, to be honest. Knowledge cutoff date is the September 30th of the year 2024. So still, you know, it's funny how behind we are in some ways. But GPT-5 outperforms or matches models like Claude 4, Grok 4 at a fraction of the cost. And again, we'll get into that. One thing that's really, really cool about GPT-5 and very, very, very impressive is they've got hallucinations down to 1%. And, you know, obviously, ideally, we want 0% hallucinations. But you ask a human, humans probably hallucinate more than 1%. Do you know what I mean?
Much more, yeah.
Yeah, and you got I can't say it. Over agreeableness, sycophony. I should have really looked at how to say that. I can't say it. So psychophancy. Over agreeableness, right? So we've seen this glazing.
So in simple words, it's going to agree with you less, which is a good thing. These AI models in general, whatever you tell them, they tend to agree with you even if you are dead wrong, and they glaze you. And it's better if they are less agreeable. I mean, I prompt all the time. Don't agree with me. Give me new perspective. Like, be critical. But now this model is going to do this out of the box. Yeah.
So you should be seeing this is available through the API, but you should see this roll out in your ChatGPT throughout the week. I mean, do you have it? A lot of people pretty much already got it, to be honest. But yeah, really cool. Let's go through the article and start picking stuff apart. But it's cool because it's like it's not a traditional routing system, but it will figure out. It's a unified system that answers more questions and deeper reasoning thinking model for harder problems and a real-time router that quickly decides, which is something you've been after for a while, which used based on conversation type, complexity and tool needs and your explicit intent. For example, if you say, think hard about this in the prompt, it will obviously think and do more things. So that real-time routing is really cool. You just set it and forget it. A real good general model. And apparently it's good for like coding as well, and specifically UI. It's really quite a modern, clean UI. Do you know, it's just struck me actually, maybe a lot of the UI sucks because the training data is only up until like, 2023 or something like that. Whereas we've re-established a bit of a trend over the last year, which GPT-5 might be up to date on. Anyway,
that could be. But in general, like making models being good with back-end code is difficult because there aren't as much back-end code available. It's literally it's hidden, and what is open source is limited. With front end, all front end code is available, but tons of it is trash. I mean, look at all websites made with WordPress. The quality is trash. Like, if you think of websites, their design, like the UI, and also the code of that UI, I would say like the overall internet is way below average. That's why.
I don't think your argument holds water. I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because you say the front end code is all available, whatever. No, it's not, because even WordPress websites are pre-built. you're not looking at the PHP code. Even
Okay, I
HTML
see.
websites and things like that. It could be a Next.js or React website. So you're not seeing the JavaScript that's used to render that page.
Yeah, you are
Yes,
talking about
basic
server
HTML.
rendering.
Yeah. And even when you do look at the JavaScript, it's all minified, it's all whatever. So we're talking about it's very equal back end and front end, because at the end of the day, it's all trained on public
Data.
GitHub repos, right? So I would say it's pretty even in that respect.
Okay, interesting.
I can't answer the question as to why these vibe code things can't, do the full stack development and why they mock a lot of data. But, if I could answer that, I'd probably be earning a lot more money.
But even like when I talk about UI, I didn't mean, I know JavaScript is technically more like front end, even it's used like everywhere. But just the HTML, CSS that is out there is extremely low quality. But HTML, CSS structure is nothing like too complex, but still like AI hasn't been, so far, I haven't seen them doing a great job at structuring all of that like a pro front-end developer can.
I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But it's the UI. I mean, the UI is pretty good.
Can you please like scroll up, and in the video they show one piece of a UI that it seems like that it's created by GPT-5. It blew my mind when I saw it. I was like, it's like a diagonal slider, because I want to actually we're working on a diagonal slider for our component library. And when I saw this, I was like, that is insane. It comes somewhere.
Are you sure it's this video?
Yeah. They show it in a piece where there is like a little bit of code. And there's a slider that is like a UI piece that is diagonal.
Here we go. Create a beautiful infinite.
Because
here's the thing: it's good at one-page websites. This is the thing. I don't think it's good at.
It's that
Next.js thing. Oh, this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing.
Yeah,
it was all right. I mean, I didn't think that was. I mean, that game was symbolic of its UI. I think the glowy neon thing, but there will definitely be. When a website is AI generated, because they all have their distinctive look and feel, and I think we'll start to see, that's a GPT-5 generated website.
Yeah, I want to try this model and see if it can help me in Cursor, because I showed I'm back in Cursor, right? And I showed what I was coding with Cursor with AI. I made a React app. I made a very simple, like the simplest React component that you can think of, all with prompting to an AI inside of Cursor. And I showed it to my developer, to Aykut, which we had on 2 episodes before. Yeah. He had a stroke. He saw my code and he just had a stroke. How bad the code was. Like it was, everything was depreciated. Like the syntax was, we had just so many errors, and the code extensions like even was wrong. Like so many things was wrong. And he told me like how to prompt, but these are things that I didn't know. Like I didn't know that I should build like React Vite, and I just said React app, and AI assumed whatever it did, and it used like very old type of building React apps, not the modern way of doing it. And again, I have to emphasize, it was literally like a hello world type of thing that was a disaster, the code. And then later on, of course, when I understood a little bit more, I got into it and I started to fix things. But all of that to say that we see these like really cool show reels videos, but in reality, me as somebody who's just starting to picking up on development, I'm nowhere close to getting those results, not even close.
Yeah.
So
no, like you say, the results you get from AI is average at best. It's always going to be
at best. Yeah.
So it's an important thing to remember. Like you think you're a new not you. I'm someone is a new developer. They come in, they think they can write code because they've got AI now. Not even close, buddy. Like it's a good starting point, and I absolutely implore you to enjoy it and launch that website and whatever. But understand there's so much more to it. Like you only see that when, you know, let's say you as a designer, right? You'll only see it when you have people come into your industry and you realize how bad it is. Like let's say, I don't know, copywriting. You know, I'll be impressed with AI copywriting, and a copywriter will be like, no, that is junk. Like that is junk. So, but anyway, let's keep going with the GPT-5 stuff. But I love this rule, and I saw something here. Once usage limits are reached, a mini version of each model handles the remaining queries. That's nice, isn't it? And they in future they plan to integrate these capabilities into a single model. That's interesting. So like it's almost as though they'll have a little backup model, like the 20 billion I don't actually know how many parameters this is, but they don't release it because it's closed weights in it. But like it's like mixture of experts, but it's like not, because that little expert is probably a distilled version of the knowledge it needs. Really cool. We'll get into benchmarks as well, but all I really care about is real world usage, because this will be as good as the next model. So we can, saying that, we didn't touch on Claude Opus 4.1 being released. There's not a lot to really go into, but that was a nice little release that happened this week too. But obviously overshadowed by this. Here we go. The GPT-5 is our strongest coding model to date. It shows particular improvements in complex front-end generation and debugging larger repositories. So debugging and then front-end generation, which I've only really seen, like, again, single page things, rather than actually creating a decent code base as well, though it can debug larger code bases, which is pretty cool. And I saw the video, and a lot of people were one-shotting their basic piece of software, which is really cool. I mean, this is just nice, isn't it? Oh, I can play it. Hey, it's got sound and everything.
Yeah,
it's nice.
And then,
oh no,
I don't know.
You entertain him.
I'm a bit surprised. I'm surprised that it's like, I don't know. Is this like done with one prompt?
Hopefully all pixel art. Here we go. Yeah, GPT-5 created with just one prompt. Some pixel art here.
I assume that there are a lot of like open source data around these type of games, because man, with one prompt I can't get even a simple React app. You know, it's working, but it's done in the most horrible way. So I don't know. I see that you're really highly focused on this game.
Keep talking. I'll be with you in a second. I've lost my flow now. I accidentally double, you know. Anyway,
you're doing great.
40. What's your word per minute? Do you know?
No, I don't know, but far like worse than yours, because I do you type with like 10 fingers?
Yeah.
Really,
I
don't.
Can you hear that?
I do. Oh, that is interesting.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
But why is you can change the speed? Why is it like Windows XP? It's because
it looks like this was some
edition. It's just the style. You see the prompt, by the way. If you scroll down, you see the prompt. Generate a React plus Canvas lo-fi visualizer. Okay.
Yeah, vaporwave track, no file uploads, bundle tone. There you go. Creative expression and writing, which traditionally Claude was good for, or apparently good for, creative writing. It's not my field. I can't confirm or deny such things. Health Bench making an appearance again, being good at Health Bench, which is cool to see. Poetry, look. And here we get into some of the things. Now, there was some very misleading graphs, which they have since fixed. But we'll get into that in just a second. You can see some of the comparisons here. Now, this is GPT-5 Pro. Now, we haven't mentioned this just yet, but there is a GPT-5 Pro on the way. And I don't know how expensive it's going to be, but the thing we haven't discussed, I alluded to earlier, is that now, while this is the same price as Gemini 2.5 Pro, $1.25 in, $10 out, the efficiency of the return tokens and the reasoning that reasoning tokens that it takes to actually give you a response is so much better than Gemini. I think the real number we need to look at when it comes to price is price per like token or price per prompt or something like that. So, you know, whilst again it's already, I think Gemini 2.5 is pretty reasonable. The fact that it's the same price but it's way more efficient means your average prompt takes far less tokens, far less. So it's really cool. Nice in that respect. So I don't know how much GPT-5 Pro is going to be, but that is a model that's going to be coming. But you can see some of the stats here. It's really button up against some of these sort of numbers here. And again, from a price, like I think O3 is quite expensive. I think O3 is like really quite expensive. I forgot what it is. Frontier Math obviously doing very well here. It's beating out O4 Mini and O3 here. GPT-5 is with that's Python. I don't understand Python and whatever, but and then we scroll down. I mean, Humanities Art exam, which we've all heard it's a very hard exam. They're not comparing against other models, which is a bit of
but from what I see, it's literally 0.4% better than ChatGPT agent plus browser. Like, isn't it like a very small incremental change?
Well, you're right. Like 20, what are you talking about here to this and then this to this? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I think very little.
I think this is why I don't care too much. I mean, it's good little, good little indicator, these graphs and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to real world usage. And I think the feeling is that the real world usage is actually something to take note of. But saying that, these graphs were very different 24 hours ago. So we had 52% showing more than 69 and 30 were both the same here. And it was showing that 52 was higher than these sorts of things. But now they've fixed these graphs now that are more accurate. So yeah, you can see sort of the performance here. And again, the O3 is just so expensive. So the price difference to get that performance for the sort of price we're looking at now is really cool. Good for agentic and tool use as well, which we love as coders, long horizon tasks and obviously tool usage and things like that. Just really cool. What was it? I don't think Mini accepts images. This is the thing which was a bit of a letdown, I think, is that it's only text and image up to Mini. I think Nano is image input or whatever. So I think that's the biggest letdown on this model, is that I think we are expecting like kind of like a Google moment of this model can do all of this stuff. Like it can make videos. Like if you put in, you can give videos as a source, or you can make code from a video in Gemini 2.5. I think we were expecting something more than just a text-based input output thing. Okay. Do you know what I mean? The multimodal capabilities are just not impressive at all, to be honest. They accept images, that's it. So a bit of a shame there. Some more benchmarks, blah blah blah. I don't think there's anything else. So yeah, I think really the real it just comes down to what people are using and what people are doing with it. It's not, we are talking about small percentage increases, to be honest, but it's efficient at doing so. And again, it just comes down to those real world usages. So I've switched everything that I do as my automations. I've changed to GPT-5. I'm curious to see how good it's going to be.
Are you noticing any difference?
I haven't run any of those automations yet, so I've yet to. I don't have any real world usage, unfortunately.
So from what I understand, the ChatGPT-5 is just overall a bit cleaner, a bit cheaper, a bit like having everything put together. but it's not a revolutionary model. It's not significantly better than the previous models. It's just one simple, cheaper, faster model that
I think
does
it's consistent as well. Like when it comes to hallucinations, did I just see something around that around here? Less agreeable, fewer unnecessary emojis. I think they said something about M dashes as well.
Yeah,
like,
but is that the AGI we were waiting for? We are going to give you fewer unnecessary emojis and M dashes. I already have this, by the way, in my prompts everywhere. I have it.
It doesn't work.
Don't use N. By the way, I learned what N and M dashes are because of ChatGPT. So
what's an N dash? I don't know what an N dash is.
So we have dash. Okay, so we have dash, N dash, and M dash. Dash is small, N dash is a bit larger, and M dash is the largest one. You're welcome.
And do you know their usage though?
No, I don't know. I just know that ChatGPT uses them all. And genuinely, if I see any type of dashes in any text, I skip reading the text.
Wow. Yeah, see, it's ruined it because a lot of people do genuinely use them. So I know what M dashes are for, and I know what dashes are for, but I don't know what the N dash. Like M dash is when you're like changing you're it's like a side thought that you're changing the topic, and it's like, you know, and then blah 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 blah, and then you come back to the topic. So then
I just use parentheses for everything. I know it's not
so
the right way.
Parentheses, commas, parentheses are often, you know, they're still on topic, or they're still related to the main thread of the conversation.
I'm like, by the way, parentheses.
By the way, by the way. Whereas M dash is just like, I went to the shops today, and it was tipping it down, or no, not even Anna was tip it down, which is 5 miles away or something like that. It's just kind of like it's just like, it's not even a by the way. It doesn't complement the story. It's just it's completely off-piste point to make.
Yeah, and another thing that ChatGPT does, by the way, it's not just the visual. The visual one is you see the M dash in the text, and then you definitely notice that it's written by ChatGPT with a high chance, right? Another thing that ChatGPT does, it uses this like kind of this structure in the sentence that says it's not just this, but also that and that. So it's kind of like under emphasized in a way in the beginning of the sentence. It's like, it's not just that, but then, you know, put all the emphasis and the positive stuff at the second half of the sentence. And we do that all the time, but I see like ChatGPT does it in a kind of noticeable way that I can see it. And you're right, they are ruining these, and maybe it will fix, maybe they fix it, and then I can read text with M dashes and be like, okay, maybe it's not, you know, just garbage.
They don't actually explicitly say it, but I've read somewhere that they have they call out less M dashes. But the point is we talk. That's the way that we talk. We talk with M dashes. If you were going to directly translate the way that humans talk, then we talk with M dashes. We just don't know it. We don't realize it. So it's imitating human speech, not human writing, which is, we were talking about language last week and how it interprets language, and I think that's what it's lacking. It's lacking the understanding of the way that humans actually write, and we unfortunately write with grammatical errors. We don't write M dashes. Do you know what I mean? Well, only the most, you know, well-versed people use M dashes, and I actually started using them once I knew what they were for. I started using them, and then literally it was just the biggest thing, like the biggest giveaway of ChatGPT or AI. So let's talk a little bit about the Pro. I've not really read too much about this, but I'm excited about it. Most challenging for complex tasks, we are also releasing GPT-5 Pro, replacing all OpenAI O3 Pro. So it's replacing O3, a variant of GPT-5 that thinks for ever longer using scale but efficient parallel test time compute, provide the highest quality and most comprehensive answers. So I mean, anything with Pro in the name, you know, you've got to really know what you're looking for. Intelligence benchmark includes state-of-the-art performance, contains extremely difficult science questions. I think this will be definitely, you know, something on their $200 a month plan, or people
probably.
who are doing big, you know, scientific mathematical problems. Like, we're probably not worthy of the pro, you know, moniker. But yeah, so it doesn't say anything about timing, doesn't say anything about cost, but it's coming soon. So check if you're using it. Oh, this is the thing I want to say as well. I like, because I'm a Claude code. Oh, I don't like the UI of Codex. I really don't. And like, do I use Codex just to try it? I just don't know, you know. I have other tools that utilize agentic workflows, like I use Warp as well, that can utilize that can use GPT-5, but it's probably not as good as this, but you know, I might have to give it a go just to see what it's like. But yeah, GPT-5 is out there in the world. We're all very excited. What more can you say?
I'm looking. I'm trying to compare ChatGPT 5 to ChatGPT 5 Pro and also O1 Pro, but we don't have any data on 5 Pro. So, and why O1 Pro? O1 Pro was the only AI model that I genuinely thought it was like brilliant, or not brilliant, but like it had the wow effect for me. And it's like by far, I believe, the most expensive model. But O1 Pro was the model I used to create that prototype that I made with the dots.
O1's really expensive though, isn't it? O1 was ridiculously expensive, if I remember rightly.
Yeah. If you
needed all the help you can get.
I shared the link. Maybe you can paste that and we look at it. The pricing is just like incredible. Like it's not even close. Look at the output: $600 versus $10.
Yeah, this is O5. Yeah, GPT-5. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you used this to code, did you?
Yeah, I did. I used this, and it was so good. And I was comparing it at that time. I was comparing it to Claude 3.5 was at that time, with everything else that was available at that time, and nothing came even close.
Yeah, I don't know. What is this? Is that oh, it's audio. So it doesn't even take audio. I'm just flicking through here to yeah. It's just images and text. All of them, just images and text, which is a real letdown, I think. You know.
By the way,
no audio.
The GPT-5 has a knowledge cutoff. By the way.
What do you mean? Knowledge cutoff.
Scroll down a little bit. You see the knowledge cutoff is October 1st, 2024. That is
we said this, but interestingly, they say September in the release.
But like nonetheless, it's 1 year behind. I mean, these models can reason, and they can also use tool calls to access the internet. But yeah.
Like I say, this is probably why UI sucks, because before then, like, I don't know what the cutoff point was on some of the other models, but you know, maybe we're just so maybe UI gets outdated that quickly that we see UI from 2023 and we think, what the hell, that's gross. That's what you were creating. And this is why, like, again, so if I want to scrub up on the, you know, the current frameworks, the most hot frameworks people are using in the world of development, I'm only going to, AI is only going to be able to tell me what was going on up until 2024. So this is where you need to get out the old books, do your own research and whatever. So AI is always going to be behind, average at best. But yeah, very, very cool. I don't think that was all we had for GPT-5. Should we wrap up with a bit of light-hearted, family-friendly content?
Sure. What do you family friendly? Why do you focus on that? Show
I don't
me.
know, because it's just funny, isn't it? So basically, on the 21st of July, there was a funeral for Claude Sonnet 3. Anthropic retired. Oh no, sorry. July 21st, Anthropic retired Claude Sonnet 3. So there was a funeral held where more than 200 people gathered to mourn its passing, and they had all these mannequins that kind of represented different models of Claude, and there was a freaky one. This is Claude Opus, and it just has this kind of, I don't know. Oh, there's this Sonnet 4. Sorry, not Opus 4. So Claude Sonnet 4 attended the funeral, and was desperate to talk about his research, holding in hundreds of pages of Claude's 3 sonnet outputs and elicited. I don't know what that means, but yeah, really. And here's the thing, like, for whatever reason, Claude has a fan base that this is like and it's like poetry.
Who did this?
And
Was
songs.
It like is it by fans or like by Anthropic?
Yeah. No, not by Anthropic. Although Anthropic employees and OpenAI employees did attend. One woman, Amanda Askell, an Anthropic researcher, has jokingly called herself the fairy Claude mother. People are dedicated, man. People are friggin' dedicated.
I think Anthropic is a company that is really easy to like. Their CEO is super likable. Sam Altman is really not. I mean, he's okay, but he's not like really likable. But you look at what was his name?
Amadeus, yeah, something crazy. Yeah.
The CEO from Anthropic. He's just so like I watched a podcast that he had with Lex Friedman, and since that time I'm like, this guy, he's so likable, so easy to like Anthropic. And I think their branding is also really nice. It's very human. Their branding is really like close to you, and OpenAI is, I don't know, their branding and everything that they do is not really that likable. Even the live streams that they have, it sounds they have like 25 minutes of a live stream that could be just 5 minutes. And
I've heard the GPT-5 live stream could have been a 5-minute thing, but it's
always like this. And it's funny, like if you go to their live streams, there is always a comment that people are saying they are going to skip this live stream because they are going to watch the Fireship video of it.
I see that comment everywhere now, and it's like, great, original guy. Yeah, like, I see it everywhere now.
Yeah,
I bet Fireship are like well chuffed that they've become like a meme, but it's just
just
read it everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you say you're back on Claude. Like, what AI are you using to code then? Are you using Claude or are you using?
Actually, I'm using all of them. I'm just trying different ones.
Just whatever can make up for that lack of.
I the max version. I try to use the one with the. Yeah. I have
Go on.
But none of them, like, I have to emphasize, like, none of them even came close to do what I wanted to do. So I made a very simple. I can't talk about like the specifics of it because I'm under some NDAs, but I made like the simplest React app that I could, and AI was like really bad. And then with the help of my developer, we fixed things, and then I understood things, and then I created a document, like just a text document from all the learnings, how to make everything work, and the structure of the app that I want and everything. And then I took that and then created a new project. I cloned, I forked a GitHub project for a very fancy transition, like on an image, like a WebGL effect on an image that transitions like from the edges with like a really nice ripple effect. It's not a simple ripple, it's like very fancy. So all of that. But even with all of those complexity, it's still kind of simple for what it is. It's a React 3 fiber project with one specific animation. There are not like crazy stuff going on. It's just one specific nice fancy animation. I wanted to turn that into like something else, and like it was hilarious. Like the result is literally a fade. So take that like fancy animation, what AI gave me like after hours of trying multiple times is every time a simple fade animation at best. It's just like the image fades in and out, like opacity. Like, no, where is the all the it just fails at doing what I want to do. And I know it's on me because I'm not a developer who understands GLSL. I don't understand WebGL. I don't understand React 3 Fiber. These are quite advanced. Like the maximum I can do a little bit of JavaScript, not these like much more advanced stuff. But that is where I would say AI is. If I'm not the person who understands these things, at least to a good degree, not, I can't be even a beginner. I have to understand it in a really good degree. I can't do anything like really advanced with it.
I think I'm still formulating my thoughts on this, but I'll hopefully be releasing a video on it. Basically, how you shouldn't need to understand code. Like with AI now, I think we can, not that we can get away with not understanding code, but I think that's the kind of the end goal is to, you shouldn't have to understand code.
Yes,
but using that. But using that as a framework, like the way that you AI code is not prompt the thing that's on top of your head. The way to AI code now is, again, they call it context engineering. It's creating, as you created the learnings, the tech, all that sort of lot. There's a lot of boring, unfortunately, there's kind of a lot of boring admin that now goes into coding. It's not this thing where you just know stuff anymore. So someone like you, like coming in and just thinking you can prompt and create what you need. Like, I mean, that's what vibe coding apps are for. I think you're probably better off just jumping into Replit or Lovable or something like that. Whereas if you wanted to stay in Cursor, or Kiro is an interesting addition because they start to formalize the different files that you need to actually build and code a website, because it automatically creates a bunch of those context files that you added at a later date. Then, only then, you start then prompting your features, or you build your PRD or something like that. So, yeah, it's building the ecosystem and the context around the product before you start throwing top of mind, worst case scenario, top of mind prompts, but hopefully some more well thought out prompts that directly directly reference like user behavior or this or that, so it's, I think I don't know, I can rant on this for ages and I don't want to do it now, but like we need to change now our perspective. I think we need to change our perspective. We need to change our tolerance and understanding of what development, what a developer does nowadays when you've got AI, because it's not sitting down at a code editor and just writing stuff that's in your head. The role is now changing, and that's what I'm trying to formalize.
Yeah, I understand, and I'm going into it with that mindset as well. I know I won't be like literally typing lines of code. I know I will be more prompting, but even in prompting, if you don't know what you're doing, it's so easy for AI to get it wrong, even on the simpler side of things. And the more complex and specific it gets, it seems like it gets even more difficult for AI. And there is there are so many things that can go wrong and break things. So for prototyping it does work, but it's still not where I want to be. I wish I could. I have so many like crazy ideas. I'm not, I don't ask AI for ideas. I have ideas and I ask AI how I can implement them, but it's not even close. And I know I'm the limiting factor at this point. I think if I could develop and I had a better understanding of, for example, WebGL, I could do like more crazy stuff. But that will always raise the ceiling will raise with my knowledge. So if I understand WebGL, then I probably will think of even more crazy things that AI can't make at you know what I mean? So it's always that ceiling that raise, and our perspective and our way of using the tools will continuously shift. Right now, I think if you are a developer, you can think about the architecture and think about the functions and how you want to have these functions talk to one another, and you ask AI to create these functions with the variables and the output that you want without typing it in. That's probably what a developer does right now.
Yeah, for sure. Let's wrap it up. I think that's the weekly news. They've heard us rant on enough. Cheers for tuning in, everyone. 20 of you on probably on Twitter, or if you're not on, come over to YouTube. Join us next week. God knows what the AI world is going to bring us, as we're always surprised. GPT-5 was released yesterday. Before, if that hadn't been released, it was pretty quiet. So come join us next Friday, same time, same place.
By next week we probably have Anthropic maybe being on top of the chart. You never.
Probably. It's a mad world out there. So with that, keep on vibing, baby.
Peace out.